Hello everyone, back tuning into this morning's video. We're going to have a look at the cold weather that's still ongoing across the country at the moment, and then looking at the end of the week into the weekend when it's going to turn less cold but become very, very unsettled over the weekend. Could be really wet, and there is potential just a little bit for some snow in a few places. Now, if we're going to be, I just want to talk about the advertising. I'm trying out a new video ad network, and you can find that video ad underneath my weather video player here on my home page. So play the video ad, the new video ad, see what you think to it, and you'll be supporting GazWeatherVids.com by doing that. So starting off with the radar picture, we can see that, well, this was the situation at 5 o'clock this morning actually. We've still got the heavy snow here through the channel line has been very disruptive through the channel and into the southeast of England as well. That was at 5 o'clock this morning. Through the morning we've been seeing that snow gradually easing away from the channel and from the south coast. It's been gradually getting lighter and lighter, and the current situation is actually that a lot of that snow is easing off. It's still snow around the channel lines, so it'll probably continue on and off for the rest of the day. Now, I've got many inches of snow in some parts of the channel lines, particularly in the outlying, more rural areas, and it really has been very nasty, severe drifting as well down there. And yesterday actually was the coldest March day for quite a number of places since 1986. One or two areas getting the coldest March day since 1970. So it really was a very, very cold day yesterday. It's a little bit less cold today. It is still cold, but it's not quite as severe as it was yesterday. So this is how the high-resolution NAE model sees the snow going through the rest of today. This is the situation at lunchtime. Snow still around the south coast and around the channel lines as well, just coming into the southeast of England. But by the time we get through to 6 o'clock this evening, much of that snow is fizzling out from the south. It's moving away from the south coast, and it's starting to die away from the Channel Islands as well. Still got some wintry showers in the north and the east of the country. And actually, as we go through to tomorrow, those wintry showers could be a little bit more widespread in the north and the east. So although many areas are going to be dry today with just a few snow flurries around, tomorrow there could be more in the way of sleet or snow showers, maybe some hail showers in places as well, but those shouldn't really amount to too much. I don't think there'll be much in the way of settling going on, but it will be noticeable, I think, that tomorrow probably a little bit of an increase in those wintry showers in the north and the east, but nothing really going on in the Channel Islands. So down in Jersey and Guernsey, things will be able to calm down, and I'm sure the snow will start to go quite quickly once it stops falling. It should melt quite quickly. Now, as we move through to the end of the week, we're looking at this deep area of low pressure moving in off the Atlantic. That's going to turn the winds around to the west. It will bring less cold air in across the country and some outbreaks of rain. It'll turn it very unsettled though as we go into the weekend. This is the GFS forecast for Saturday. The low pressure is sitting there to the northwest of the country, feeding in this west to southwest wind. This is still quite cold air coming around this area of low pressure. If we follow the ice bars back to the north of the low pressure, we can see they're going right up to the North Pole. So we are bringing cold air down around this area of low pressure. And we've got to watch out for this low pressure developing down in around the Azores. That's going to have some very humid air associated with it, a lot of energy, and it'll be pushing up towards us. It could give us some really wet weather as we move through to the weekend, through the second half of the weekend and into the first half of next week. There's the low pressure, the main area of low pressure sitting right over the top of the country as we go into Sunday. That'll be bringing showers or longer spells of rain. Again, cold air is coming down around the northern and western side of the low pressure, and there's the low pressure moving from the Azores into Spain and Portugal. If that moves northwards, it could give us some really wet weather as we move through into the end of the weekend and the start of next week. Actually, this particular model run of the GFS takes that low pressure more towards France, but it may be that low pressure will come northwards, and if it engages into this cold air coming around this low pressure, it could give some heavy snow somewhere across the British Isles, probably more likely Scotland and Ireland. But we do have to just be a little bit wary of that low pressure and where it's going. The ECMWF of the weekend, there's the low pressure moving in off the Atlantic on Friday. That'll be taking cloud, rain and slightly less cold air across the country. Then that low pressure really sitting around the country as we go into weekend over the top. So ice bars are opened out. It will be we'll have light winds. We won't have to worry about the wind, but it's going to be unsettled with showers, longer spells of rain. There's the low pressure off the coast to Portugal at midnight on Sunday morning. As we move through to Monday, that low pressure is actually pushing northwards through France, and that looks like it's going to move in across the British Isles, and that is exactly what it does. There's the low pressure over the country, right over top of the country, as we go into midnight on Tuesday. That'll be taking really heavy rain in across the country. Could well be flooding with that. And as I say, we've still got this cold air coming around the low pressure system to the north and to the west, so we do have to be wary on the northern side of this low pressure if it gets in to the country, just whether it starts to engage this cold air, and we could get some significant snow somewhere in the British Isles. I have to emphasise it's a low risk at this stage, but it's just one to keep an eye on. Notice all the blocking that's going on up to the north as well on this ECMWF run. Got massive blocking there from the Arctic and going down into Greenland as well. So that suggests that we probably keep some, or probably keep the threat of quite cold air going right out well into the second half of March. The GEM, again, the low pressure is moving in off the Atlantic as we go into Friday, bringing slightly less cold, but still pretty chilly air and unsettled weather as well. Moving out towards the weekend, that low pressure really starts to dominate weather, and there's the low pressure starting to move up from Spain and Portugal as we go into midnight on Sunday. Again, we have to be careful with that low pressure, just what it does. It could give some really heavy rain and the potential for snow on the northern and western side of that low pressure. So again, just something to be wary about. And as we move through to the start of next week, the low pressure is still there over the country, dominating. Notice we've still got a good deal of blocking over Greenland and to the north of Scandinavia as well, keeping the pattern well, quite chilly, it has to be said. Probably not that cold, but certainly chilly, with the threat of more very cold air at any stage really going through to the second half of the month returning. So we're going to lose the really freezing cold weather that we've had over the last day or so. It is going to become a little bit less cold as we go towards the end of the week, but very unsettled, and there's going to be heavy rain around, particularly maybe Sunday into Monday. Have to watch out for that low pressure coming up from Portugal. If it does come up from Portugal, it has some very humid air associated with it, has a lot of energy, and on the northern and western side of that low pressure, we're looking out for the risk of some snow in place as well. So a lot going on, a lot to keep an eye on. We're doing a 5-day forecast tomorrow. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.